Hi everyone, it's Kathy Max, and today we are going to do a rabbit rag wreath. We're going to be using fabric today, and this is some of the fabric that I picked up from Joann Fabrics. If you end the bolt, they give you even more of a discount. So I got some bunnies, I got some carrots. This is just kind of like a peach because it kind of matched with the bunnies there. I got some Easter eggs with chicks, and then I got these Easter bunnies as well. So these are the fabrics that I have. Some of the tools we're going to need. We're going to need a rotary cutter. We're going to need a straight edge, and we are going to be using our mat cutter. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting the strips 1 inch by 5 inches. I'm not sure how much on this wreath form that we are going to need, how many yards of fabric we're going to need, but we will figure that out by the end, and I can post that in the descriptions. So just remember, anytime I have any tools or whatever, tools and items that I use, I do list those in the description box. So let's get this out of the way. What else do we got under there? Nothing. So I bought probably way too much fabric. But what I'm going to do, because the fabric was longer than my board, my mat board here, I kind of folded it in half again. Again, we're just going to do 1 inch strips. So as long as you have a semi-straight edge on the side, you should be good. So I'm just going to be cutting 1 inch. I think my blade needs changed on my cutter. But we're just going to be cutting 1 inch strips. Yeah, I know we kind of lose what is on the fabric, but oops. Like I said, my cutter, I think I need to press down harder when I'm doing that. So let's just cut a couple strips there, and let's show you what we're going to do here. Like I said, we're going to cut them 5 inches long, and on each end of the fabric is kind of the raw edge or whatever, so you can just kind of cut that off. We are going to be cutting them 5 inches long, so I was just sliding it down, cutting. You get like 8 pieces out of 1 strip. And since this little fold here was the factory fold, I flip my fabric around and then I go to the other end. But you're going to get 8 out of each one. And so we're just going to, this is very time consuming. So if you got a lot of time, this is your wreath for you. So I just kind of, you know, stacked them up. I kind of was putting them so like when you cut it one way, they're upside down. When you cut it the other way. So we're just going to cut our strips, and I will be back. Okay, I got all my 5 different patterns cut, 1 inch by 5 inch. Here's the wreath bunny form number if you guys need to. It says it's 17.3. Here's the number on the back. They are at Dollar Tree because I did see them there this weekend. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to fold it in half, and then we're going to fold it in half again. So I'm putting the raw edges because you can see the back side does not have the print. So I'm folding the wrong sides together, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. So we're going to have something like this with a loop, kind of like we do the tulle wreaths. So I'm going to do my open ends up. We're going to work on this outer bar first. I'm going to put my tails under that outer bar. And I'm going to pull them through the loop, and I want to make sure that my folded ends, you can see how they're folded, because upside down you can see these are my open ends. So I want to make sure I get my folded ends so they're pretty up. Does that make sense? So we're just going to do them randomly. You can, if you want, you can just put, you know, all of these in, and then you can just put all of one color in, and you know, and rotate what you're going to do. Again, I'm going to put the tails under the bar, and I got my little loop here. So when I pull them through, I want my folded ends showing up. And then if you want them, you can lay them so then your folded ends so are like this going upwards. So your fold's always, you know, your nicer side is always on the top. And then when I get to this side, I'm going to do the opposite so that my open ends will be near the bottom. So again, if you want, you can, you know, do a pattern with them, you know, just go in order. So again, we just fold it in half and then fold it in half the other way. We're going to stick the tails under the bar, and we're going to pull them, make sure they're even. These ones weren't really even, and I'm going to pull them tight. So then they can even open, you know, if you really want them to open, they can even open out this way, like that. But I'm going to continue filling. You can do on each row, just don't put like the same on top of each other, kind of stagger them. So I will fill in more and I'll come back and show you. So this is what I have after just the outside row. There's like 13 on there. So when you go do your next layer, some, I'm going to let you know, some I folded and had the tails open because like the carrots here, my carrots are upside down on the front, but we're going to do the same. We're going to stick the tail end under the bar, and we're going to pull it through the hoop. And then you just tighten up your knot. So again, so we don't want the carrots on top of the carrots. So you kind of just play with it that way. And then, remember we folded it in half, wrong sides together, then we folded it in half again for our loop. We're going to stick the tails under. So I kind of had, if I wanted my fold to be upright, when I put my tails through, when I'm going to pull them through, I'm going to make sure that I pull through kind of straight, so then my folded edge will stay there. So we're going to go through, and then we're also going to do the inside row. So fold it in half, half again. So when you come here, just make sure your fold's a little better. I'm just trying to make sure my knots are all on the front. I'm going to open it up. pull it through. You can pull each one individually if you want to tighten up your knot. And then we're going to do the inside row. So I'm going to continue with this section. I'll come back and show you, and then we're going to do something different on the ears. We're still going to use the fabric, but I didn't think these would look good, especially because the ears are so close together there. So we'll do something different on the ears. I'll be back. This is what I have so far in the one section, 13. I did 12 in the middle, and then there's 10 here. So what we're going to have to do, we got these crossbars, and kind of like I did with the tulle, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to split this. So I'm going to have to put one on, and you probably only need to do it on the top row because I don't think you're going to see it anywhere else. We're going to have to split this crossbar. So we're still going to put our tails underneath, but I want to split that crossbar. And my fold wasn't folded very good here. So you can kind of see, sorry. My fold in half wasn't very good in the center. Push this out of the way. So I'm going to split this. So I'm going to put one on the top side of the crossbar, one on the bottom, and then I'm going to meet them on the other side. Maybe. And then I'm going to pull them through the loop. So then that's going to cover your crossbar. And I don't think you have to worry because this piece covers all the way down. So you're not going to have to worry. So call it 10.5 in the inside row. Well, actually it'll be 11 because you'll do a half split there as well. So that should cover our crossbars, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to straddle those. And if you really wanted to, you could probably do the inside row like this, flip them this way, do the next row, because you kind of are on top of your folds. You know, and then that way those will be out of your way when you do, instead of always having your hands on the under row. And you can always, if you don't like, you could always go around and kind of trim off the bottom row, because these spaces are different. I think on the wreath form, I think the inside two rows are closer together than the center and the outside row. So you could always make the outside row a little shorter. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue around, and I will show you my progress. Look how cute this looks. So this is just 2 sections, and let me tell you, I bought way too much fabric. So at the end, like I said, I'll have to figure out how much fabric I use, and I will, if I don't mention it in the video, I will at least post it in the description. So, but isn't this looking really cute? And I think I was videoing doing the inside row first, flipping it over, and then doing the middle on that. Either way, I guess, whichever way you would want to do it is fine. When I do this section now, because see how the open end is starting to be on the upside, and I kind of don't want that, so I want the open end to be down again. So we're still going to fold it in half, and in half again. But this time, instead of going this way, I'm going to turn them this way and put them through my loop. So my knot will stay the same, but then now my open end is going to be down. Let's do that again. And I think my primary focal points are this peach, and then the carrots I think stick out. So as long as I kind of had those spread out, I don't think you really could tell, because these 3 were so like, you know, with the tan, and they were light, and the white. So I don't think those stand out as much as the carrots and then this peach one. And you could always like pull one tail at a time if you want to get it really super tight. But look how cute. I'm really liking this. So let's do this again. I'm gonna fold it in half. And half again. And instead of going this way, I'm going to use my left hand, put the tails under the bar, and I'm going to pull them, open the loop up, and then I'm going to pull them. My carrots are upside down still. That's the only downfall. I think most of the other stuff I was able to get them to look right side up. The carrots are the only thing, but that's okay. So I'm just going to continue, and I will show you, and then we'll work on this section here, and then we'll work on the ears. This is what we have so far, all the sections but the top. I don't even think I've used a half a yard yet. My husband was trying to help me figure out, and he's trying to ask me how many square inches is in a yard, and I'm like, I don't have to know how many square inches. So it's just kind of comical. So I'm going to finish this top section, but isn't it looking really cute? I went down here and I changed half of them. I have going, like these ones I have going down, these ones I have going down, and then somewhere here in the middle is where they kind of meet. So I flipped half of the ones in the bottom section, so then when they go up, my folds are on the top. This one I'll probably do the same. I'll do half going down this way and half going down that way, so all my open ends will be going down. So let me finish this up, and I'll come back, and then we'll work on the ears. Look how cute this is. I've never done a rag wreath, so This is my first time making one. And I really thought I needed a lot more fabric. And I have a ton more fabric left. These are all the pieces that I had cut that I still have. I mean, you can see my stack that I still have. So if there's anybody locally who would like a kit, let me know. I can either have the pieces pre-cut for you. If you want me to ship a kit, I would have to figure out the shipping cost because my box would obviously have to be big enough for the bunny frame unless you have the frame already and you're just looking for the fabric. So I can get all that fabric back out. So this is all the fabric I used. So there was this bunnies. There was the carrots. Look at all this fabric that I have left. I watched somebody do one, and they did a St. Patrick's Day one, Cat's Creation. She is on Facebook and YouTube. She did the St. Patrick one, and she said she used like 4 yards. So I made sure I had enough because I, was going to do my video, and I didn't want to run out of fabric and then have to drive 20 minutes away to go get more. So these were all the fabrics that I had. What we're going to do with the ears, I'm going to use this peach. It's like peach pink. And we're going to kind of loop it and knot it. Because I didn't think doing these ties would work. So I think I'm just going to kind of wrap that around. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. If you like the video, you can also give it a comment. So I'm just going to cut, I think I'm going to do it 1 inch wide again. So I'm going to just fold it, because like I said, since it's bigger than my mat board, I'm just going to fold it and make sure my edges are even. So I think I'm going to cut it 1 inch wide. And I think I'm going to cut a couple strips. I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know. I kind of don't think one strip will work. Yeah, like I said, my husband was trying to figure out, well, how long was your piece? And I'm like, it shouldn't matter, because what comes off the bolt, I know if any of you guys are fabric people, what comes off the bolt, this is 36 inches wide. It doesn't matter how tall or long it is. I only cut 1 inch out of the 36 inches. And I want to say I used 19 inches, so that's a little over half a yard. So don't go out and buy 20 yards of fabric. Not that I bought that much, but I probably bought a good at least a good six yards, because I just wanted to be careful. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So again, if anybody is locally, or if you're even interested in a kit, let me know. Probably the best way would be Messenger on Facebook. It's Craft Creations by Kathy. All my social media is the same. I am on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then the YouTube. So let's get this out of the way. For now, I'm going to set it over there. Well, let me cut. Make sure you always clip your rotary cutter. I'm just going to cut, you see how they have the ends. And then this side, you can see it here. So I'm going to at least cut those off. Put this down here. I think again, I'm going to fold it But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think I used 151 pieces. So 151 pieces, 5 inches long. So I am going to tie this, I think, in a knot at this end. You could always secure it with some hot glue, zip tie, but it's going to be underneath there. So I don't think I think I maybe did this a little too short, my tail here, because I can't get it anymore. I can't make a knot. Sorry, I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to, in my head, think what I want to do. I had a little piece of scrap fabric that I was playing with. Like I said, I've never done a rag wreath, so I'm really excited how this turned out. I hope everybody likes it. If you made it this far in the video, why don't you give me a bunny emoji? That would be cute. Okay, so I'm going to tie that. I'm going to stick it down there. So what I was doing, hang on, let me look at my sample. What was I doing over here? I had the fabric like this, and then when I did this, it made like a loop. And all I did was stick this back inside here. But I don't know since I'm not very good here at having it folded in half. So it kind of is going to make like a, if you're a crocheter, it kind of makes maybe like a little single crochet. So let's do that here. I'm going to do this, so it's going to make a loop. So here's my loop, because here is my stuff on the bar already, and I'm going to, here's my loop, I'm going to stick back down inside here and pull my tail. And then when I close it up, it kind of almost mimics these knots here. So do a loop. The piece I was practicing with also was homespun, which is the same on both sides. So here's my loop. So I'm underneath the bar. So I have a loop, and then I'm going to put this back inside. So I'm going to pull it through here so you can see it. So I'm pulling it through like that. And then when you pull it tight, again, like I said, it kind of makes a knot like we have here. Okay, it looked way better on my my sample. You know, maybe because I have this big piece there. So there's my little loop. I'm going to go inside the loop. Let me get my, maybe that's why I'm just getting all wonky, just because my fabric is going all kinds of different directions here. And then there's my knot. So I was thinking, you know, if I just do that all the way up the ear and all the way around, I think this is kind of throwing me for a loop too, because I have such a big section here. But that's going to be hidden under here. So I'm going to continue on, and if I find something different, and if I don't like it and figure out something different, I will be back. Okay, as long as you keep it folded in half, it seems to be working. So remember, we looped. We're going to come through the bar. And like I said, as long as you keep it folded or the pretty side up. So then we're going to put our tail back through the loop. And then here's just the tricky part. You just got to get your fabric. So again, like I said, the knots are kind of staying. I mean, they do twist in. You could always glue them. You know, do a little bit of glue down and it will hold them in place. You could always just wrap, you know, this way, the ears. I just didn't like the idea of the ears sticking out because I kind of think you'd lose the ear shape in the center here. Isn't this super cute? I have one ear wrapped. I used 2 1-inch strips. So whatever the length of the bolt was, 36. It's like a 44-inch bolt. I don't know if they come 42, 44. But this is what I did. And what I did to make it easier so it stayed in half is I did some hot glue down the center, just kind of folded it over just so it would kind of keep my half, you know, half going, my half fold going, keeping it in place. Don't put too much glue. Where I joined them, so what I did when I got to the end, I just hot glued one piece over the other, and that became really bulky. So that was this section right here is really bulky. So I kind of just been kind of tucking it to the back. So it would have been nice if it was up here, and then that would have been like the top of the ear. But I really think this is turning out cute. It ends up being about 12 and a half, 13 inches wide. And then of course it's going to be about 19 inches long. So I did, like I said, I did find gluing the center to keep them together so I could do that wrap. Worked so much better. And then I did hot glue my knot that I did at the beginning, and then I kind of knotted it at the end. I haven't glued that though yet. Just wanted to kind of show you this again. I'm going to start it again and I will show you how I did that. How I did that fold, huh? My glue dried too much, too fast there. Guess I need to not do it so, such a long piece of glue. I only just wanted a little just to kind of, you could iron it if you wanted to iron it in half. This does make it kind of a little bulky with the glue. Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't have done it all the way to the end, because I'm going to have to go glue my other piece in. I'll just take the glue off. So what I did, just going to push that back. The hardest part was kind of in between the ears. I had to make sure I wasn't going to break them I kept kind of pulling them apart. So again, I'm just knotting it at the beginning, and then you can glue that so it stays in place. Throw a little glue on the bar so it stays in place for you. And then remember, all I did, we made a loop. We went under the bar, we made the loop, and then we just stuck this inside my loop. So then when it tightens up, it was gonna kind of look like these knots here. So we're gonna go under the bar, we're leaving a loop, and we're gonna stick our tail through the loop. Like I said, it's almost kind of like a single crochet, or what reminds me of a single crochet. I'm gonna hit this again now that I have a couple in there. And you can even leave that tail. That's why when I was doing this top part, I didn't put a lot of the pink in these back rows, because I knew I was going to do the ears in pink. So I didn't want that to take away from the ears, having too much pink up in here. So I only put pink in this first row here, a couple places. So under the bar, we have a loop. Just stick our tail through the loop. And like I said, it really helped gluing it in half. You can iron it as well. So then that way you're gonna have the good fabric facing forward. It still hasn't really, it still keeps twisting. Didn't stay glued to the bar in place. Loop, stick your tail through the loop. And your knot looks like these knots. Okay, here's what I did to overlap them. I just stuck a little bit of glue on that piece. I stuck this one right on top. I'll let it sit up. Oh, I got a little too much glue. And then I'm going to kind of do what I did on the other piece. Where I'm going to glue it in half. You know, our stuff loop, go under, and then like I said, it helps. You really kind of have to work it where it's where this or to join together. I kind of like maybe bent it a little, just kind of maybe loosen it up. But then I'm just going to continue on, and I will take a picture when I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this. I think this turned out really cute. I hope you guys all liked it as well. Thank you.